Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, very good morning. Okay, everyone. So there is something which I would like to show you regarding SCL. Okay, but for that I need this particular setup. Okay, this setup I need. So as you can see that all these things are not configured. Okay, this is the topology what we have used in the last couple of sessions as well. I want someone, okay, uh, from your side to basically configure this, and basically what exactly we are doing, we are blocking telnet, SSH, remote access from LAN number 1, PC0, PC1 to gateway 2. Okay, so this is what exactly I would like to show you, that remote access. Okay, how exactly you can block. Because we have used Telnet and SSH in the device management to access all these devices remotely. But how exactly we can block those access from the perspective of security? This is what exactly in this particular topology we'll be doing. Okay. So who's having their system on? Anyone? Bhavya?
Yes, sir.
Yes. You have your system on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You set up this topology first, okay? And after that, I will tell you. I will just show you how exactly you can do this, okay?
Okay, sir.
So you can share your screen now. You can share now.
Yes, sir. Sir, my screen is visible.
Yes.
A switch is missing.
Bhavya? Yes, Bhavya, can you hear me? Okay, can you guys see my screen clearly? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
So just wait, Bhavya has got disconnected. Just wait for her. Okay, who is having anyone else having their machines on? Aditya, Ankit, anyone having their machines on?
Yes, sir.
So just you have this project, Aditya.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So just share your screen, open the project. It's like Bhavya is having some issues on this. Okay, just open this project.
Yes, sir. Just a minute.
Okay, so it's already pre-configured, Aditya.
Yes, sir. Can I just check the laptop ping?
Yes, yes, yes. Just make sure that every single system can be.
Hello, sir.
Bhavya.
Sorry, sir. Here, network is not connecting. I disconnected, sir.
Okay,
While I,
don't
sorry,
worry.
sir.
Okay, he's already having that topology. Okay, so he's simply just
Okay.
sharing that.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, you are getting connectivity, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, configure telnet and SSH on gateway 2. Configure telnet and SSH on gateway 2. And from PC0 and PC1, you should be able to telnet or SSH to gateway number 2. Okay. So the device management, in the device management session, we discussed about telnet and SSH, right? Aditya?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that configuration you have to do on gateway number 2. Go to CLI and configuration you have to do, right? Who knows the telnet SSH configuration?
Yes, sir.
Just help Aditya on this. Ankit, Ajinkya,
Yes, sir.
all of you. Telnet and SSH configuration you guys know, right? Just open the screenshot what you have taken on the telnet and SSH configuration. Vignesh,
Yes, sir.
just guide him. What exactly he has to type? For telnet.
0 space 4.
Aditya, first of all, you go to the config mode.
Oh,
It is
yes,
privilege mode, right?
sorry, sir.
Yes, Vignesh. Guide him.
Sir, here we have to give the admin username and password or
Yes,
exit and
see,
again.
since you are doing no login, right? No login means what? You are deactivating the security on this router. It means what? When anyone is trying to telnet or SSH, at the time they will not require any username password to enter.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so first of all, do you want this type of telnet or SSH access, or you want authentication as well? You want security, or you don't want security on telnet and SSH? First of all, you have to ask this question. So no
Okay.
login means what? Login is not
No
required.
security. Yes, sir.
Okay, if you want security, it means what? You have to create username and password, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
So that thing you have to do. If you are saying no login, then you don't have to create username password.
So now I directly configure the SSH.
Not SSH. Enable password you have to configure, right? The privilege mode password. There is an enable password command, right?
Yes, sir.
Not line VTY. Enable password. Directly you type enable password. Okay. Login is not required over here. This password is for privilege mode, because whenever you are trying to access via telnet, at the time this password is required to access the privilege mode.
Yes,
Your
sir.
configuration is done. Now try to access from PC0 or PC1 on this router. Go to PC0 or PC1 and try to telnet. Not ping, telnet. 103.1. Can you see that you are accessing gateway 2 now?
Yes, sir.
Now type enable. And that enable password you have given, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So you are getting the privilege mode now. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now do the same thing. Say exit. Okay. So it means from this machine you can access, right?
Yes, sir.
Gateway 2. Okay. Now go to PC1 and do the same thing. Telnet. Spelling is wrong. One ninety two, 192, not 193. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
here you can see you are getting access. Now the means the things what exactly we are trying to do over here. Just minimize this topology. Yes. The things what we are trying to do is we want to block this PC0 and PC1's telnet and SSH access to gateway number 2. Okay, means any time whenever you are telnetting from PC0 or PC1, that access it should be blocked. Okay. So do you like you guys remember ACL, right? Access list. All of you remember access list? Just open that ACL. How exactly we are configuring standard ACL, extended ACL, all this. Open your ACL screenshots, everyone. Now, extended ACL. Can you see extended ACL configuration, numbered ACL? How we are configuring the source, destination, the protocol, all these things, right? Access list, 160, deny, ICMP, all this. We are basically blocking telnet now. Okay, earlier we blocked ping. ICMP protocol basically is used by ping, right? But now we are blocking the telnet access. We don't want our PC0, PC1 machines to telnet or SSH gateway number 2. So using this particular syntax, we're basically going to apply this. Okay, getting it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how do you do that? Aditya,
Yes, sir.
to block telnet, what is required for you to know? What are the things what you need to know in order to block telnet? First of all, the protocol, a transport layer. Which protocol is used? A transport layer by telnet, TCP or UDP? Telnet uses which protocol? L4 protocol?
TCP IP, sir.
TCP it uses. And which port number exactly it works? Telnet port number, everyone? What is the port number for telnet?
So 23.
23, sir.
23. And SSH? SSH? SSH stands for what?
Secure socket.
SSH.
For SSH 22,
Port number 22, correct. And SSH stands for what?
secure shell, secure login.
Secure shell. Secure shell. Okay. Now, the things what exactly is going to change from here? Okay, the SCL, what do you have? I have highlighted over here. Instead of the deny ICMP, can you see? Can you guys see the deny ICMP access list 160 deny ICMP written, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Instead of ICMP, we need to use the TCP. Okay, we need to use the TCP protocol because it is used by Telnet or SSH, right? So you need to use this command for access list 160 deny TCP. Then you will be typing the PC0 IP address, then 4 wildcard zeros, then the destination machine means gateway 2's IP address will be coming. Then again 4 wildcard zeros. Okay, so let me just tell you. Yes, Aditya, you can open your gateway to router. Open the gateway to router. Yes, access list, access hyphen list. Hyphen list. 180, 180. Take any number from 100 to 190, right? You are
Yes,
having
sir.
all this extended SCL. 180 deny because we have to block, right? So we are saying deny TCP. TCP. Now you have to write your source. So who is the source? PC0, right? So
Yes, sir.
PC0's IP, you have to write it. .4, then all wildcard of zeros. Okay, now who is the destination? Gateway 2, right?
102. Yes, sir.
102.2. So write this address. Then again 4 zeros. Now we have to match the telnet, right? Yes or no? We are blocking the telnet traffic, right? So always we have to write EQ. EQ. Type EQ. Not echo. EQ. EQ means equal to. EQ. Okay. Space. The port number of telnet, which is 23. Good. So now
And
press enter. Now your gateway 2 is also having another IP, right?
yes, sir.
103.1.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now do the same thing, but the gateway address will be 103.1. Just use the up arrow. Just use the up arrow. Just modify this. Just use the up arrow one time. Aditya, you can share your screen now. Okay, just change the destination address to 103.1 instead of 102.2. Just change it to 103.1. One zero three dot one. Done. Now, so you have made like what, two rules, right, for telnet from PC0, right? Now do the same thing for like what, for PC1 as well. Okay, the same, these two rules you will be using it, but this time for PC1. Okay, PC1 IP will be coming. So what is the address PC1?
100.3.
So you are using this IP. So just use the up arrow and change the source address this time. Again, 102.1 or 102. Okay, good. So now you have blocked the telnet access, right? Using both the IP addresses of gateway 2. Now do the same thing for SSH as well. But in SSH, only the thing which will be changing is the port number.
Port.
Other than everything remains same. Okay. So just do this for both the systems. Now from 100.4, port number 22, and another one, 103.1. 3.1. Okay, so just say exit now. And give show IP access hyphen list. Show IP access IP space access hyphen list. So you guys, can you see all the rules you have created for telnet and SSH? Everything looks correct. All this configuration looks correct. Because gateway 2 is having two IPs, right? One is on LAN number 3 and another is on LAN number 4. Using both the IPs, we have to block telnet and SSH, right? So everything looks good, Aditya?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so lastly, you have to give a permit. So go to config mode and give access 180 permit IP any access network list 180 space permit IP any source to any destination. That is correct. Go on, press enter. Now go to PC0 and try to turn it. Permit any, not any source. Just type any. That's it. That's it. Now go to PC0 and try to telnet. See if telnet happens or not. It's happening, right?
Yes, sir.
So what exactly is the IP you are using? Are you using static IP or DHCP IP?
Static.
Static IP. Are you sure? Just check it. 192.168.100.4. Okay. And that one, PC1. Check your IP address properly. Okay, base 100.3. Okay, looks good. Now you have to apply the SEL, right? Because just now you have created the SEL. So creating the SEL, it will not do blocking. Okay, by default. So we have to apply it on FS0/0 port, right? Inbound direction, correct? The IP access group command is there, na? Aditya,
Yes, sir.
you have to apply the SEL, right? Because there are two steps to configure. First of all, create the SEL, then you have to apply it under the port. Unless you are applying it under the port, it is not getting configured. Okay. So gateway to, we can see FS0/0 port, right?
Yes, sir.
On this port, like what, whenever telnet traffic is coming, at the time it will be coming inbound, right? On FS0/0.
Yes, sir.
So you have to just apply the SEL in the inbound direction. No, not block. We see your SEL number is what? What is your SEL number? See, show IP access. This command gives you that information. Na? What is your SEL number?
180.
180. This is SEL number, right?
Yes, sir.
Type 180. And in which direction you want to apply this?
In.
In. So write it. That's it. Now
Enter.
go to PC0. Yes. Now go to PC0 and try to do this again. You should not be having telnet access. Connection timeout. So again try to telnet. Can you see it is trying now?
Yes, sir.
See that you are not getting access. It is getting blocked. Now do the same thing for PC1. see that both machines, they are not getting target access. But if you do it from laptop, you should be having success, because we are not blocking laptop one, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you are getting access. Now do the same thing for SSH as well. SSH also, for SSH you must be doing some configurations, right? SSH configuration is there. Configure SSH first. On gateway number 2, say exit from here. So first of all, you have to create your host name. Then you have to create your gateway, this domain name. Remember the configuration SSH IP domain name command is there, na? Who is having the SSH configuration? Vinayak, Vignesh.
Yes, sir.
Who knows SSH configuration? Bhavya? SSH configuration, anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Anyone who knows SSH configuration, just help him out.
IP
First, we
domain
will.
name cisco.com.
crypto key generate RSA. Key KY. Username. And password. Username, password.
Okay, so SSH is configured, right? Now go to username and password. Just remember this. Admin and password is pass, right?
Yes, sir.
So that is the information what you need to access SSH. Okay. Go to PC. Go to your laptop one. Go to your laptop one and say SSH hyphen L for login. Small lowercase.
Sir,
Exactly.
it's gateway.
Yeah. No. On the laptop one. Just say exit. Just say exit. Okay. Now say SSH space hyphen L for login. L for
L.
login.
Hmm.
Okay, space the username. What you have created username, right? The username is admin. Okay, and the machine. the machine you were trying to access. So gateway 2's IP, you type directly 102.1, 102.2. Try, press enter. You are seeing the password is coming, type the password, press enter, enable, enable. No, enable you have to type. Anyways, try to do the same thing from PC0. See if you are getting connected or not. Because from other two systems, you like what? SSH is not allowed. Are you getting access?
No, sir.
Okay, PC1 also do the same thing.
No, sir.
Not getting access, right? This is how you are doing it. Okay. Understood, everyone?
Yes, sir.
What exactly he has done, you guys have understood, right? The ACL. Just show them the ACL. Aditya, just open your gateway to router. Open your gateway to router. Maximize it. Scroll up. Show them the ACL configuration, what you have done. Yes, everyone just take a screenshot of this, the ACL part. Taken?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Aditya, you can close your share now. Okay, everyone. So this is what exactly I wanted to show you, that how exactly we can block remote access, because if we are not blocking this, okay, then anyone can access, anyone can like what do anything on your routers, okay, remotely. So that is the reason always security is very much important, and SQL always we are using to provide security. So anyways, this is how you are blocking the telnet access. Okay, so we're basically now discussing about the fiber optics, everyone. Okay, the fiber optic cables, because this is what exactly is pending from last couple of days itself. So we are finishing these two things up. The straight through cable, crossover cable, rollover cable. Yes, like what day before yesterday also we discussed about it, correct? The color coding, everyone, remember? The straight through color coding. How many colors we are having? How many colors we have total?
4
8
solid
total.
colors and 8 mixed colors.
4 solid colors and 4
Mixed colors.
mixed colors. And what are the solid colors?
Orange, green,
Green, blue,
brown.
Okay, and mixed colors?
White, orange, green,
White, orange, white,
brown.
green, white, blue,
White, blue,
white,
and
brown.
white, brown.
White, brown. Okay. And uh, which particular connector we are using to connect all these 8 wires? What is the name of
RJ45.
RJ45 stands for?
Registered jack.
Registered jack. Okay.
Register check.
Now, what color coding we are using on straight through cable? Straight through cable color coding?
Orange, white.
White, orange,
White, orange.
green,
White, orange, white, green, blue.
Uh,
White, blue, green, white, brown.
green, white, brown, brown. Okay, green will be there. Okay. Now, how many categories of twisted pair cable we are having? How many categories?
Two, sir.
What are those?
Shielded and unshielded.
Shield.
Shielded and shielded.
Shielded
pair
and
cable and
unshielded.
unshielded.
Okay. Okay. So now we are basically talking about the fiber optic cable, everyone. Okay, this is the cable. What exactly we are having? Like what? The fastest. Okay, the fastest transmission medium. Okay, what we are considering till like what today, because of the fact that we can transmit, we can receive our information at 100 GB per second via this particular cable. Okay, and it covers very long range. Okay, normally when we are using UTP cable, okay, like what you are having UTP categories, Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3, Cat 4, Cat 5, like that you have seen the categories of UTP cable, the STP cable. Okay, we cannot cover long ranges with this STP and UTP cables. Suppose you want to cover around like what 10 kilometers of distance. Okay, then this type of STP UTP cable you cannot use to connect to like what connect in that distance. So always distance matters. Okay, because we are connecting everything like what in a wired environment. So all the signals which is traveling via the wire, okay, it it needs to be sent, okay, from source and destination, and this is when exactly the signal loss and all these things it happens, because not many cables, okay, of STP UTP it supports that kind of long distance range, okay, to send or receive signals. This type of cable it is specifically built for these reasons. It covers longer distances, and similarly it gives you the maximum transmission reception rate of like what receiving or sending your data. So every single time when we talk about a fiber optic cable, you get to see this type of cables, everyone. Okay, either yellow color. Most of the like what fiber optic cables are basically yellow color only. So this type of cable you are going to see. Okay, now this cable basically it is also called as ocean cable as well, everyone. Okay, ocean cable. So ocean cable it is the fiber optic only, but this is the cable what is used under the sea level to connect our like what locations together. Okay, this is two geographically divided locations getting connected via the fiber optics, everyone. What exactly you are saying? It's a fiber optic connection. Okay, going under the sea to basically connect, and this is what exactly is the type of the machine which is used to deploy the cable. Can you see? This is the fiber optic cable deployer, okay, and this is the cable getting deployed via this machine. So big organizations like, for example, Google, IBM, AT&T, okay, this type of organizations, they are into fiber optics. Reliance, for example, okay, they basically they're deploying fibers all over the country to basically connect every single part of the country, okay, into the fiber network. Because fiber, like what, fiber optic cables always it gives you so much benefits in terms of doing transmission and reception, and the most important advantage what we have to remember is the fastest transmission and reception rate. Just imagine 100 GB per second you have the capacity, okay, to send traffic to receive traffic. But all this sending and like what receiving, okay, traffic is being done using laser beams, everyone. Okay, we have the laser beam lights. Basically, let me just show you fiber optic. This is what exactly you are having the laser beams. Okay, these are light beams only, and this type of light beams are basically flowing via this glasses. Okay, these are basically made of glasses, as you can see over here. All these are glass. Okay, these are made of glasses. Here you can see this one. Okay, very thin glasses. Okay, And the glass material always is used inside the fiber optic cable to basically send these light beams via these glasses. Always it is used. Now the question is how our system recognizes these light beams. They cannot understand. They don't understand what are these beams, of light, first of all, because they are like what dealing with voltages. Our system understands voltages. Plus minus, tx plus, rx plus, tx minus, rx minus, like that. In that environment, they are like what they're comfortable to do the data exchange. But when this type of thing comes in, when our signal is getting converted into lights, always we need a converter, to convert our signal. So this is when exactly we have the fiber optic converter, everyone. Converter. So this type of fiber optic converters always is available. You can see that in Amazon, in other websites also it is available. Let me just show you. Amazon.in. What is this? Amazon.in. So let me just search it, everyone. Or let's just go to Amazon. To show you how exactly it is being done. Amazon. So here exactly you can say fiber optic converter. So all these like what companies are available, TP-Link, you can see, Tricom. These are very popular companies and they're giving you this type of converters. You are having this converter coming from TP-Link, gigabit SFP. We are having the converter. So you can see that we have two ports over here. One is for TX, another is for RX. That is dedicated converters. For like what transmitting your light beams and receiving the light beams. And this is the gigabit Ethernet. This is where exactly our Ethernet signal, it basically comes in, it gets converted into the light beams, and via this TX port over here, those light beams are getting transmitted from this side of the cable to the other side of the cable. So sometimes you will be seeing these two TX and RX available in the converter. Sometimes you will see only one port like this. As you can see, this is the port. And in this one, you will be seeing that both TX and RX, it is being done. Both the transmission and reception of those light beams are being done using this single port. So this is your Ethernet port. This is your fiber optic ports. So when the signal is going in, this is when exactly it is getting converted and it is coming in via this Ethernet signals. So Ethernet port. Always we have this type of connectors, we are using it. If you are already having a Geo fiber or Airtel Extreme fiber, I hope that you guys have seen that they are using these connectors, to give you connections, because the type of the signal what we are sending on a fiber optic transmission, always it is light beams, and these light beams like what is not understandable, or is not being understood by our systems, because our systems, they understand Ethernet, Ethernet signals. So those light beams needs to be converted in the proper manner, so that like what, so that all this like all these informations what is coming in terms of lights, it is like what it is being understood by the system, because your system never understands light beams. So this type of converters always is used. So some fiber optic standards what you have to remember, everyone. Let me just give you this fiber optic standard names. Fiber optic standards. So just remember these standards, from the perspective of your interview. These are the standards: IEEE Okay, IEEE is the organization who has developed maximum of these standards. All of these things, okay, you have to just remember specifically this one, this standard name, the data rate, and this particular distance. Okay, how much distance it covers. So as you can see, we have 10 base FM. 10 base. If you just remember this one, you don't have to remember data rate because this data rate is included into this one. Okay, can you see this 10 over here? This 10 is coming from where? It is coming from the data rate. Okay, 10 base FM means 10 Mbps you are having the speed, and the maximum distance it covers. This particular cable covers is how much?
2 kilometers.
2 kilometers.
2 kilometers. Right? So what is the maximum kilometers? Can you see 100 kilometers? 100 kilometers, everyone. With the fiber optic, you can transmit your signal with like in terms of light beams 100 kilometers. Now that is by far okay the longer distance what exactly we can cover in a wired network environment. Everyone, okay. 100 kilometer is not that kind of small, okay, small area. So this is when exactly we are utilizing the fiber optic network. Okay, these days you are going to use it. So this 100 is coming from where? This data rate. Okay, so just if you remember this one, ultimately you are remembering this one. Okay, single mode and multi-mode fiber. Can you guys see multi-mode fiber, single mode fiber, all this? These are basically two modes of fiber optics. Okay, single mode means what? Only one application's traffic can be sent via that cable. Okay, if I have a single mode fiber cable, it means only one application's traffic. For example, if you are browsing Facebook, right? So there is a Facebook traffic, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If you are browsing Facebook, it means there is traffic exchange going on between Facebook server and your side, right? Your machine. Let's say that at the same time you want to browse YouTube, you want to do Twitter. Okay, while you are doing your Facebook, you want to download a particular file, or maybe you want to uh, use any other website. Okay, like what? Maybe multitasking you are doing. This type of multitasking is not allowed. Okay, in the single mode because of the fact that single mode means only single application traffic. Okay, it can be sent and received. That is why kind of it is dedicated. Okay, in fiber optic. Single mode fiber optic cable always costs also more because only one application traffic you can send or receive. But multi-mode means what? It supports multiple applications traffic, everyone. Okay. Multiple applications traffic means what? Suppose you have opened 4 tabs in your browser. You have opened 4 tabs. One is Facebook, one is Twitter, one is Instagram, one is YouTube. Now all the 4 tabs, like what you are using, that is multiple, right? Multiple applications traffic, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
This is what exactly the multimode fiber optic cable. Okay, so multimode fiber optic cable always it is costing a little bit less than single mode because single mode is kind of dedicated, and this mode always is used in the company. Okay, because company wants dedicated performance, and this is the cable which delivers it. So what exactly you are seeing all this? Okay, these are basically specifications of making this type of standards. Okay, in cables. For example, from the perspective of the manufacturer, these informations are required. All these informations are required from the perspective of manufacturing the fiber optic cable. But it is not at all required for you to know from the interview perspective. Okay, if you just remember these 3 columns, okay, standard, data rate, and the maximum distance, it will be like what easily you can like it will be easy for you to basically remember this. And similarly, if any questions are also coming, most of the things, okay, what exactly interviewer is asking from this type of standard names. Is the data rate distance maximum time? They will ask you that, okay, this standard, what is the speed? Okay, what exactly is the maximum distance we can cover? Like this type of questions are being asked. So make sure that you just go through this table, okay, and just do some research on internet. Okay, you are having all this, see that all these standards is also available. So just do some research on internet and you will be getting it. Okay, but this is what exactly the main table. What exactly you have to know. This one. And we are basically experimenting in fiber optics. We are experimenting, okay, 400 GB per second transmission rate, everyone. This 400 GB per second transmission rate, we didn't like what achieve it till now because it is still under the development process. But this is what exactly is the future of fiber optics, everyone. Okay, 400 GB per second. Just imagine how much amount of data your machine is dealing on a single second. Okay, so this is what exactly this fiber optic cable is all about, everyone. Okay, just remember this chart. For most of the questions, they are asking directly from the chart only. Okay,
Sir, what is this FX and SX FL?
these are standard names, standards. Okay, these are IEEE standard names.
Okay.
So just you have to remember this. Okay, this 10, 100, all these things are coming from the speed only. If you remember this, ultimately you remember the speed as well, because the speed is written over here at the very first of the standard name. Okay, everyone got it?
Yes, sir.
So now we are going to basically discuss about the disaster recovery, everyone. Okay, what is disaster recovery? Let's say that you have a route, and you have a system, and all these machines are connected via wires. Okay, so let's say that we are connecting directly APC to a router. Now the configurations, what we do in this router, it is saved into which particular configuration file we are saving the permanent configuration, everyone, in Cisco IOS. What is the name of that file? Yes, who can tell me the name of the file which stores permanent configuration in Cisco IOS? Yes, gone. Vishal, Binay Singh, who can say this? Which particular configuration file stores your permanent configuration, everyone? Very basic question from I think second or third day only we discussed about it. So just tell me.
Startup config file, sir.
Startup config file. That is correct. Right. Startup config file. Okay. So let's say that we have a network, right? We have this network. I want you to basically build a topology for this. Aditya,
Yes, sir.
yes, I want you to build a topology like this. Okay, you will be taking two routers. Okay, only two routers. So you will take two routers. Like this. Then you will configure two meshes. and you will connect this machine over here, and you will connect this machine over here. Okay, choose the IP address. Choose the IP address as you want. Okay, I'm not giving you any IP address, but I want this. Okay, we have one LAN over here. We have another LAN over here. We have three LANs network everyone. Okay. So just connect them. Okay, give IP address and make sure that from this machine you have connectivity to this machine first. Okay. So just with three LANs you do the configuration, and after that I'm showing it to you. Okay, so Aditya has joined.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you have to set up this topology of three LANs. Okay, choose your IP address. Okay, choose your own IP address. I'm not giving you anything. Just configure them and make sure that this machine can ping this machine. Okay, after that, what exactly we are doing? We are simply backing up their configurations in a server. Okay, so we'll be having this server which will connect to this machine, and we'll simply back up all the configurations what is running in this router over on this server. So this is the disaster recovery. Okay, the disaster recovery. We'll be simply taking the backup of their configuration so that if any disaster happens, for example, if the router is crashed, okay, for any reason, then all the configurations are also lost, right? Because the system will not be opening. So this is the reason we are having this like disaster recovery concept. Okay, so backup restore concept is there. This is the concept what we are discussing, backup restore. You can simply backup the configuration of your router to a server. After that, you can like load that configuration directly from the server, okay, into your router. So just to make sure that you have set up this topology first, and after that, I will be telling you what you have to do to back up the configuration of every single thing router 0 is having to server 0. Okay, understood, Aditya?
Yes, sir.
Go on. You can share your screen now. Yes, go on. Use any IP address, any class C network address. Okay, this is up to you. Whichever address you want to use, you can use it.
Okay, sir.
And routing protocol also, whichever protocol you are comfortable, you can configure that.
Aditya, you have to use straight through cable, right, to connect the switch to the.
Aditya,
Yes, sir.
yes, sir, do it fast, okay? Because we are having only 26 minutes left to configure the whole thing. Okay, so just do it a little bit fast. And everyone else, uh, just help him, okay? Just help him configure all these things, okay? Because we have to finish this thing today, okay? The backup restore thing. Okay? So make sure that you just help him out whenever he is having any doubts. Okay.
Interface.
Yes, Aditya, almost done.
Sir, using the RIP to connect the.
Okay, RIP configuration is pending.
Yes, sir.
Okay, finish.
If his network ID is correct, 100.0 for router 2.
For this, it will be network 100.0 na?
No, it should be 101.0 and 103.0.
Yes.
Okay.
Two network IDs.
I think for router 1, router 0 also got wrong.
Yes, yes.
Aditya, again, network ID got wrong. You need to enter two network IDs, 100.0 and 101.0.
100.0 and 101.0.
Oh, you have entered. Okay, sorry. I thought you had.
Yes, Aditya.
Done, sir.
Router 0 is connected to how many LANs?
100.0 and 101.
So 101.0, right? So two LANs you have to give network command, right? Under RIP, you have to configure two networks, right?
Yes, sir.
Router 0, you configured that.
Yes, sir.
You can show me.
100.0 and 101.0.
Okay. And on router 1,
101
and
and
102.
3.
103, right? Okay. So now you send a ping. Okay, just configure your laptop 0 and laptop 1. And make sure that you have connectivity. Check your gateway addresses. Check your gateway addresses.
Yes, sir. Sir, it's ping.
Is it pinging?
No, sir.
No. So it means what some gate. I guess some gateway issues are there. Just check on both the machines gateways. 100 or 254 you have given.
Yes, sir.
And on the other side,
103.254.
103.254. Okay. And this process. But I am seeing 100.3 you have given. 101.3 on your FS0/0 port. 100.3, 100.3. FS0/0 port.
Yes, sir.
Then this is the gateway address, right?
Yes, sir.
Always your gateway address, it should be either the first valid host or the last valid host. Don't use the gateway address in the middle of an address range. This 100.3 is like happening between first valid host and last valid host, right?
Yes, sir.
Most of the time, it like what we don't use these addresses as gateway addresses. Always the first address or the last address of a network always is a gateway address. Now just do the ping. See. Getting
Yes,
reply? Okay. Now use this command to show to basically save the configuration. Save your configurations on your router. saved, right?
Yes, sir.
Use this command. I have given you this command, right? Copy running config startup config. Can you see?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is everyone. Can you guys see? This is this one I have given you. Can you guys see? Startup config.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just make sure that you copy. Okay, note down this command. This is how you save your configurations on your router. Now, copy running config startup config. Once it is done, now you basically take a server and connect to this switch 0. Take one server and connect to switch 0 and configure the server with the IP and gateway address. Server
System.
PC switch 0 connected to switch 0. Configure the IP, gateway address, everything. $100.3 already is used, right?
Yes, sir.
As gateway
As
address.
gateway.
Okay, it's a gateway address. Okay, just go to desktop. Go to desktop. IP configuration. Configure that IP. Give any address, 100 to 10, for example. Okay, submit first. Okay, done. Now send pin from server to gateway. Ping 100.3. It's working, right?
Connected. Yes, sir.
Now just go to your router. Now we are basically going to back up the configuration, everyone, because you have saved the configuration earlier, right, on your router. Yes or no? Copy running config startup config. Can you guys see this command? Copy running config startup config command. This is how you save the configuration. Okay. Now you are basically going to copy this configuration file. Okay, this startup config file. Can you see? So startup config file, everyone. It is written startup -config within braces. This file you are going to copy to this particular server, server 0. Okay. So on server 0, just click on the server 0. Go to services, services tab. Can you see the TFTP option under services? TFTP. This is where exactly you are going to transfer this file. This is your TFTP server, okay? Or this configuration file, what we are going to transfer, it will be stored in this server, TFTP server, okay? So right now you don't see any startup config file, right? Just scroll down. Scroll down. No startup config file is present, right? In the server. Now you are going to transfer that file, okay? So what exactly you are going to do? Go to your router first and give this command. Go to privilege mode and say copy privilege mode. Go to privilege mode. Exit. Copy startup config startup -config, the name of the file, okay? Just look up startup -config file is there. fl config space tftp ftp. That's it. First of yes, present. Now address the name of remote host. So this is where exactly server 0 IP address you type the server 0 IP address. 100.10 you have given what's there. 100.10. That's it. First, that's it. Then press enter. Destination file name, that is the router config. Okay, by default. Press enter. Can you see how many bytes are copied?
692.
So that information is now available in server 0. Just go to server 0. Go to server 0. Go to TFT. Can you see the first line? The first file has come, right? This is the router config, right? What we have transferred from the router, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is how you backup. Okay, you backup the configuration of your router in a server. This is how you do it. And similarly, in the next session, we'll be seeing. Okay, just save this configuration. Okay, Aditya. Because tomorrow also you'll be sharing this one. We'll be seeing how we can restore this type of configurations when our router is crashed, or suppose we want to load some configurations, how we can do that. So this particular restoring, okay, backup we have done today, restoring how we can do it, we'll see. We'll see about that, okay, by tomorrow. Okay. So anyways, just save the project, okay, and make sure that all the configurations in your routers are saved. Okay, just use the copy running config, startup config command. So any questions, everyone, from the things what exactly we have discussed in the session? Any questions? Aditya, understood everything? Any doubts you are having?
No, sir.
Okay, so remember this. See, the thing is, in terms of cabling, right? In terms of cabling, these are the straight through crossover rollover cable. Most of the time, you are using it. This type of like what 3 cables, you are using it everywhere. Okay, in a locality network environment. So always, whenever you are dealing with this type of cables, make sure that you remember the color codes. Okay, because the color codes always is very much important. It helps you to recognize which type of cable we are using. Okay, what exactly is the standard, how much is the data rate, all these things are like what we have to remember this as a network engineer. So always make sure that like what you can expand your search, okay, uh, to the maximum, okay, because expansion is always required everyone. Don't just limit your search, okay, don't just limit your exploration in these particular things, okay, to a certain extent. The more you will expand, the more you will be learning. That is what like what every single network engineers are doing. So anyways, everyone, any questions if you are having, you can ask me now. Yes, Manisha,
No, sir.
any questions? Murli?
No, sir.
Nothing. Okay, everyone. So can you just tell me? Can anyone just tell me that why exactly port address translation? Okay, the PAT what we are using today. Everywhere PAT port address translation is being used. Can you just tell me uh, the one difference between port address translation and the dynamic net, okay, translation? That one difference, only one single difference. Can you just tell me? The port address translation and the dynamic net translation. The only one difference, everyone. Yes, Nikita.
Yes, sir.
Between port address translation and dynamic net translation, just tell me one difference. Who can basically answer this? Vignesh? Shubham?
Sir, in NAT translation, address is transferred to private.
Dynamic net translation and port address translation. Only one difference I want to hear. Just tell me only one difference. Aditya, you can close your screen sharing now. Yes. So, which one is it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Only one difference.
Yeah, yeah. Private IP address they are translated into the public address. Sir,
Private address?
Private IP address are translated into the public IP address, which is in a net.
That is what exactly is that?
Yes,
right. Between
yes.
dynamic net and PET, I wanted just only one difference. Only one point. If you can see.
So NAT uses IPv4 address, whereas PAT uses IPv4 with port numbers.
Okay, good. So what is the benefit by doing that? What is the benefit?
This is a dynamic NAT will be transmission the map will be changed. So multiple users you can use their IP address. One IP
Multiple,
address.
for example, if you can give an
One IP
example.
address. Like translate IP addresses to one address and keep the tracking users or which is available for number.
Anyone else?
We don't want to type IP address manually, other than DHCP will provide dynamic IP address.
Not this one. We're talking about dynamic NAT and port address translation. It is different, right? We're not talking about DHCP. DHCP you are using for distribution of IP addresses, dynamically. I'm not saying about DHCP. I'm saying this dynamic NAT and port address translation. You have like what's common number of differences, but what is the most common difference? So, like what one answer I have got that like what port address translation means port numbers we have to do the translation. And in dynamic NAT it is not the port number. That is correct. But again, everyone, okay, make sure that you use some real-time examples, okay, while you are explaining. It helps the interviewer to basically identify that you know these concepts, okay, very well. So just use real-time examples, okay. Suppose you have a laptop machine, suppose you have a desktop machine, and you want to communicate using NAT. How exactly you can do that? So this is like what practical examples. So just utilize it whenever you are explaining all these things, okay, everyone. So tomorrow we are having the restoration, everyone, okay. The backup we have created today, and will be restoring that particular configuration right now. So make sure that all of the things what we discussed, okay, just have a proper revision, everyone, and I will see you guys in the next session, okay. Bye and take care.
Okay, so thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you, sir.